In this video, I'm going to show you how to find new and emerging trends on Etsy with the help of Everbee. And towards the end of the video, I'll share a bit of a secret bonus technique with you that barely anyone knows about. So we're going to start our research process on the homepage on Etsy, and the first thing you need to do is double check you have the right region selected, because if you're like me, you live outside the US, you might have this default to the wrong settings. So I'll change this to dollars as well, save this, and then if you want to look for t-shirt trends, just start off by simply typing in t-shirt up here, and now we're going to use Everbee to further analyze the search results, filter through and find out new niches that have started to trend. Everbee is a Chrome extension. They do have a free plan as well, and I also have a link at the top of my description which will help you get a discount if you do want to sign up to the paid version. So here we've got the product analytics. This is what we're going to spend most of the time in, and we need to click search entire database to get a good overview of all of the t-shirts that are indexed on Etsy. Now, a few things to note right here. You've got a bunch of statistics. The most important ones that we're going to look at are the total sales or monthly sales. In this case with trends, those are more important, because a lot of the new and emerging trends won't have a lot of total sales yet. Then we also want to look at the listing age, of course, and the favorites can be quite interesting. Let's start off by filtering this down. So if we click on the filter setting, we can actually select the max amount of months right here for the listing age. So if I put 1, it is going to go down massively. Now we've got 600,000 results instead of 5 million. So these are all listings that are recently posted, and by default it is sorted by the monthly revenue. So the top sellers are at the top at the moment. It's very easy to see that there is a lot of Harris and Waltz designs selling really well on Etsy. So that is kind of the top trending niche right now, and probably also quite competitive. But if you're not certain, this is the first time looking through it, a simple way to check the competition for this niche is just click into one of these listings, copy one of the primary keywords, for example, Kamala Harris shirt right here. If you click on that term, you can copy it. We can go back to the initial search results, enter that, and go back to the product analytics tab, where we can see there is about 66,000 indexed shirts on this term. So yeah, there is a lot of sales volume. As you can see, about 2,000 monthly sales on the top seller, and a bunch of these listings are getting a lot of sales right now, even though they're very young. But the competition is also rampant for more generic sort of Kamala Harris designs. There will be sub niches, there will be more specific phrases that are trending, maybe new quotes that have come out that started to trend due to a debate or to something what she said during her campaigns. That is ways to target this kind of niche without being lost in the sea of Kamala Harris shirts right here, but more on that later. So this one I would just discard for now, and I'll go back to our initial search term of t-shirts. One thing you will notice whilst scrolling through this is there's quite a bunch of Disney shirts that usually trend somewhere along the top. Occasionally you also see quite a bit of Taylor Swift related stuff. So one quick tip for that is you can exclude certain words here. I've already got Disney auto suggest it. So for the product name, if you just exclude Disney, that is going to make the research a little bit easier. You'll have less infringing things show up. This does take a while to refresh, but as you can see, that's literally cut the results in half. So there was about 300,000 Disney shirts indexed right here, which is crazy. Now, whilst looking through this, I'm essentially looking out for phrases that are not too generic, like the Kamala Harris design that we saw at the top. So kind of something like this right here, voting prevents unwanted presidencies. That could be a new politics trend. You know, it is a fairly fresh listing, and it is getting around 370 sales estimated per month. Then what else can we see? Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. I think this is Taylor Swift related, so we'll just ignore that. Here we've got another one that says vote, prevent unwanted presidency. So there is a pattern, multiple designs, very recently posted, getting a ton of sales. So that is definitely one that I would look into. This one caught my eye as well. Not my first tornado. Okay, what happens if we click into this? Not sure what that's from. All right, the keywords very quickly show me that this is related to some sort of movie, Twisters movie. Also, we've got John Candy, Glenn Powell. Probably a lot of relation to celebrities or movies in this one, unfortunately. So we'll have to ignore that. But yeah, let's actually take a quick peek at this prevent unwanted presidencies, because I want to see if this is a newer niche with less competition. If we copy this term right here, prevent unwanted presidencies t-shirt, put that back into the Etsy search mask, go to product analytics. Right, now we've only got 267 results, and this is not filtered yet, by the way. So there is also a few shirts right here that say 2 months old, but as you can see, there is quite a few that are selling regularly. Here we've got 300 sales, 200 sales, 100. So there's definitely quite a bunch of demand for this specific phrase, and the competition with 260 is clearly a lot lower. So this is a pretty low competition, new trend that's recently emerged on Etsy, which you can see by the listing age. It's related to the election, to politics, so you can use some of the broad keywords and to also get indexed on those, just as these people are doing. Kamala Harris tee, Trump election 2024, political t-shirt, etc. But I think this is a good example of finding a trend just through the broad term of t-shirt and then figuring out that it is in fact lower competition. Now, obviously, at the moment, you are going to see a ton of politics shirt in these results. That's not always going to be the case. At the moment, if you want to find something that's not related to politics, again, something that you could do is exclude the word Kamala or exclude the word Trump. That will help you out a little bit right there. It's not impossible. If you watch my trending niches episodes, I do still find other trends that are not related to politics, but it is definitely tough in these times. But the same principles apply. No matter what time you do your research, you always want to look at young listings that are getting a lot of monthly sales right now, and then check out, is this an older established niche? Does it have a lot of competition? Or is it in fact very new with lower competition, which means it's easier to get organic sales with, or even sales with ads are going to be easier if the competition is lower. Another quick tip here, and a little bit of a strange approach, but one thing you can do to sometimes find some very obscure trends is you can actually set the monthly sales right here to 0, which I know that sounds very counterintuitive. We do want items that sell, but what you can do then is enter a minimum of, let's say, a minimum of 50 favorites over here. And now, look at this, we've got a very small number of products that are indexed, which are very young. So again, we have 1 month for the listing age max. So these are all newer listings that currently have an estimate of 0 sales, but they do have a lot of favorites. And we can even sort this by favorites first, so the most favorite items at the top. And this way you can sometimes find some very obscure trends, which you wouldn't really find with the other setting. For example, what about this one right here? My flabbers have been gassed it. 318 favorites, and that is an indicator of demand, right? Favorites means a lot of people are clicking on the listing, taking a look into it. So what if we click on this right here and we say view on Etsy? We can see that this is in 20 plus baskets. So this is potentially a new trend. I don't know why there's no data for this one. Maybe it's too new. If we scroll down right here, listed on the 22nd of September. I'm recording this on the 24th. So yeah, it has just sold a couple of days ago. So there is demand for sure. And is there much index on this keyword? Let's just double check that as well. Got quite a bunch of stickers, but I can't really see that many other t-shirts. If you look at product analytics, there is 7. Really? Is that all? Well, there's more showing up in this list. 63 now. Okay, so there is a bunch of listings, but not very many. None of these really have a bunch of data. Actually, this one does. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. That's completely unrelated. But yeah, anyway, that is kind of a random niche which doesn't show much or doesn't have many statistics indexed right here with an Everbee, but clearly people are buying it. It is in 20 plus baskets, and yeah, it does have a ton of favorites, right? So let's go back to this screen, try and find another one. I usually skip more generic things like, a pumpkin with cats, because that's probably going to be quite broad and have a lot of competition. I do try and tend to look more for phrases where we're going to have some more specific keywords to go after. Professional yapper, that looks quite interesting. Right here we've got one that says I love fall prevention. Does have quite a bunch of favorites, very new listing, so let's check it out on Etsy. This is a sweatshirt by the looks of it, which they do sometimes show up even under the t-shirt search term. This says in 5 baskets, so not too crazy. What does it say? Yeah, definitely 165 favorites, listed on the 24th of September. So that means it is literally just sold unless the person listed it today. Because in case you didn't know, when an item is listed on Etsy, that's when it last sold. Because items get relisted, you pay for the listing fee again once the sale happens. So what about this keyword then? I love fall prevention shirt. Look at that one. It does have a bestseller badge. That's a good sign. There is a lot of popular now badges right here. We are in fall season, so that does make sense. Let's look at the niche overall. Search the entire database. 87 index, is that all? That almost feels too small if there's that many listings that have a popular now badge. The monthly sales estimates are actually not that high right here. They're not that crazy, but as you can see, most of the listing ages are very, very recent. And yeah, this one actually has 500 favorites, which is quite a lot. Anyway, that's it for this niche research video about finding trends on Etsy. Let me know if you want to see one on evergreen niches as well, which is quite relevant moving into Q4. But I thought I'd still show you this because, you know, I do share trending niches every now and then in my trending niche episodes. So this is the process that I use. If you want to learn one of the easiest ways to sell t-shirts or other print-on-demand products on Etsy, make sure to check out this video next.